everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something on the STI that I wasn't totally planning on doing, but the car apparently had other ideas. The other night Allie and I were leaving somewhere, and all of a sudden it made kind of an odd pop. Came out of gear going up to a stop sign. After that it wouldn't go into gear any longer. Ended up waiting about 3 hours for a tow truck. Finally got it towed home. And what was going on appeared to be a hydraulic issue somewhere between the master cylinder and the slave cylinder. Fiddled around with that for a little while, and then it started acting normal again. But when not in gear, it's still kind of making some odd noises. So as much as I hate to do it, we're going to go ahead and pull this engine out. Put a new clutch and throwout bearing in it, maybe bleed the slave cylinder again, and put it all back together as our temp tag expires in about 2 weeks, and we still haven't passed emissions yet. So yeah, we'll be doing that today, and I'll do my best to provide any tips or tricks that I have for this along the way. I've taken out quite a few of these engines, so hopefully it's pretty quick.
Well, guys, Mike and I just left the gym. Don't mind my crazy hair.
Okay, we'll do.
Well, the STI, it won't go into gear. But you think the throwout bearing is bad. So, looks like the engine and transmission are coming out way sooner than we planned on. That look ridiculous. This is exciting. The STI is getting loaded on a trailer. First time. We haven't even turned it up yet. Poor Mikey's cold. 2 hours later. Well, almost 3 actually. I think it's 10:30. Alright guys, so the first thing you do is you do the coolant. Mike's favorite thing about working on cars is coolant. It's his favorite thing. Ask him anytime. I'll have a great conversation with you about that. Right, Mike?
Right.
So now we're going to be taking out the radiator. Mike and I were just having a discussion on whether we are going to be leaving the AC. So stay tuned. We'll find out. So Mike is under the car doing all the bell housing bolts. But we are almost done. Everything up top is unhooked. So I believe next will be motor mounts.
I already did those. That's what I had to for.
Oh, okay. So motor mounts are done. So I guess what will be next? The bitch pin?
The pivot pin.
Oh, excuse me. Pivot pin. So it's almost out. Then we will replace the clutch, put it right back in, hook it back up, and be done. Did you find the issue?
Ball bearings, you got where the ball bearings used to ride. Fucking tore up the pilot bearing.
Is that bad?
I don't even see this is the pilot bearing's gone.
So that's what came apart.
Yeah, that's not ideal, but we shall overcome. I don't know how the fuck we're getting that race out, though. Can you take all these? They're dirty.
That's okay. So how's the clutch?
Clutch is okay. It's an Exity stock replacement, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just a stock replacement. But so now the problem is, so here's the inner part of the pilot bearing. It's got all the ball bearings that ride in it, but the outer race is stuck in the flywheel. So we might have to pull the flywheel and like pound that out with a screwdriver.
Can you try and pull it with something?
I don't know what I'm gonna get in there is the problem. Alright, so this is what a normal pilot bearing is supposed to look like. Anyone who's ever skateboarded, it looks like a skateboard bearing essentially. This is what the pilot bearing in the car looked like. It completely came apart. When we had the issue where it wouldn't go into gear, I'm assuming one or more of these little ball bearings was lodged in the pressure plate, not allowing the throwout bearing clutch fork combo to pull up to release the pressure plate from the clutch disc. So yeah, that was really the biggest thing I saw. Obviously, losing the pilot bearing, a lot more load was put on everything else. The throwout bearing is in pretty rough shape. Backside of the crank doesn't look all that great, but it should be fine.
Alright guys, so this is the clutch that's going back in for now. For the stock setup, just a very basic pressure plate. I guess the kids would say stage 1 or stock clutch. Stage 2, oh, Mike stepped it up with this one. And then the pressure plate. So friction disc, pressure plate, and throwout bearing. So unfortunately, with how the engine is sitting, it is kind of hard to show you what exactly we're doing. There's not much room right now in the garage. We should have pulled the STI back a little bit, but I'll do my best to show you how we install this as it gets installed. But hopefully this gets done today. That would be exciting.
Alright, so I went ahead and put the new pilot bearing in the flywheel. I've got the clutch disc in there with the alignment tool. We'll go ahead and throw the pressure plate on and obviously make sure the clutch disc is aligned properly, and then we can go ahead and torque down the pressure plate.
Alright, what are we going to do now, Mike?
Torque down the pressure plate.
How do you usually do this?
And start patting.
And you hold the crank, right? That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Some cars have like a pin where you can lock the flywheel, but you're my pin.
Oh, thanks. Glad I could be your pin.
Yeah. Such a light torque there. Torqued.
What are they?
12 foot-pounds.
Oh yeah, you can pretty much do that with the ratchet very lightly.
Yeah.
What were the torque specs for the flywheel bolts, or the flex plate. That's what that is. Oh, it's a flywheel.
Flex plate is for auto trim.
Okay.
Those are 55.
Okay. Yeah, compared to those, these are nothing. On a standard car like this, what do you think the highest torque rating is? And what would it be for? Something like an axle?
Yeah, probably that axle.
Alright, Mike, now what are we up to?
We'll put the clutch fork and throw the bearing in.
Okay. And you said you put some anti-seize on here?
Yeah. Just to make it nice and easy to come apart next time, in theory.
Considering we're taking this apart in hopefully like 2 weeks. So Mike's going to be putting in the clutch fork.
With your help.
And so does that little nipple go through that hole?
What?
The little nipple, is this a master cylinder?
That's slave cylinder.
Slave cylinder. Does the slave cylinder go through the hole?
No, there's actually an indentation further down, right there that it goes.
Oh, okay.
And the spring goes from there to there.
Oh, okay. Cool. And then that's the throw-out bearing.
Correct.
And that goes on the clutch fork. And that's what actually engages the clutch.
Yes. But before you run the car, once it's in, you have to push this into the pressure plate and snap it in.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely don't want to forget that step. Otherwise you're gonna hate your life.
Alright, so now are we ready to put the engine back in?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you so excited?
Oh, I can't wait!
What is that?
I think a plate on the engine mount fell off.
Oh. Cool.
Cool. Brake. And this will be a 39. And it has no wastegate crack. Like, where's the world?
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. That's crazy.
Ready to go forward?
Yeah, let's go approach the passenger side a little bit. Oh! You can do it in the front there. There you go. One second. Down.
Alright guys, wow, I'm really tired, my hair looks crazy. But, as you can see, Mike moved my camera. But, the engine is back in the STI. Yay! So now we get to hook everything up and get it running. So that's what we're gonna do next. Don't mind my crazy hair. Alright guys, all we have left is to hook up the radiator, which it looks like Mike is doing now, and put the intercooler back on. Then we get to test it. It's just so unfortunate that we get to drive this maybe 1,500 miles, and then the engine's coming back out. Shit, we might take it to emissions test under break-in for the clutch. How many miles are you usually supposed to do before you break in a clutch?
I think it's
500, okay. I think it is 500. So, not sure. Anyway, stay tuned. We're almost done. So, half and half. What's that? Distilled water? Look at that form. Oh no! You overfilled it. Or you spilled, one of the two. Did you spill? Really, really exciting things happening over here.
My wrist is creaking.
Is that what that was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's all back together, so we are going to start it.
It was in neutral? Alright, try again.
Is it the auxiliary belt?
Maybe. Yeah. Alright, you can take the key out.
Now what?
August, come back out. Alright everyone, well that horrible noise that you heard luckily ended up just being the dust shield that was on the engine. Got a little bent up towards the pressure plate while we were putting the engine in. I was able to bend that out of the way and it sounds much better now. In the end, you're able to see that that was quite a lot of work that we had to go through just to replace a tiny little pilot bearing that had failed. I've actually never seen one of those fail before. So I'm somewhat curious as to what the cause of that was. So yeah, if you've ever seen a pilot bearing failure like that before, be sure to leave a comment below on what you think caused it. That way I can maybe avoid having to go through all of this in the future. Pretty excited to have it back together, to go get emissions sometime this week, get permanent plates on it. Well, not permanent, but you know what I mean. And continue on with the build. So thank you all for watching and see you next time.